Pranam Acharya Ji.
Welcome, Nitish.
So my question this time is how to become mentally and emotionally stronger in college life, and how to protect myself from bad content, and how to know it's actually bad for me.
Strength is not something that you have to actively cultivate. Your question is positing, assuming something. You are assuming that weakness is innate and strength has to be imported or cultivated or learnt. You don't have to cultivate strength. You have to decultivate weakness. You don't have to learn strength. You have to unlearn weakness. Please remember, strength is nature itself. Your very swabhav. The purity of your being itself is strength. And that strength is not a showy thing. That strength is not a comparative thing. That strength is not about the capacity that you have to fulfill your desires. That strength is a particular ease, sahajata. That strength is something that, as we said, is not showy. It will not be visible until and unless a challenge throws itself upon you. It is something that you carry smoothly within yourself. It remains there, but manifests only when there is a need or a challenge. It sits lightly within. All that is hunky-dory. The problem is that this natural, smooth, easy strength within us is shrouded by, covered by a lot of what we have learnt or imbibed or imported from here and there. So kindly adjust your model, rather append it. The model that you have says you are weak and you have to become strong. That's the model most of us carry. I am weak, I must become strong. Is that not often the desire expresses itself? I am weak, I must. So first thing is to correct the fundamentals. You are strong, and for some very special reason, you have covered yourself with weakness. So uncover yourself. Unlearn weakness. Append the model. You are strong already. You don't have to learn strength from anywhere. Right? First thing, I am already strong. And then the mysterious question is, from where did weakness come?
Yeah.
And that's the question to go into. If I am already strong, from where did this mirage called weakness become so big upon me? How did this become identical to me? How did that happen? That's the question you must meditate upon. And how to meditate upon it? Not by excusing yourself from the world and sitting in some corner and thinking about it. By seeing how weakness operates in your day-to-day matters, in the world. Because it is in your day-to-day existence, and it is from the world that one imports weakness.
Yes.
So therefore one has to catch exactly when weakness is about to percolate us, seep into our existence. That's the point, to catch yourself. No entry for you, ma'am, or sir, whatever. No entry for you. Right to admission reserved. I don't allow free access to my interiors. This is not some public space. Trespassers shall be prosecuted. It is the trespassers who bring something with them and leave it behind as garbage within you, and that is weakness. That brings us to an interesting definition of weakness. Whatsoever is not yours is weakness. Whatsoever has been brought to you by random forces of society, time, your biochemical physicality, all that is weakness. Arrest that before it strikes you. See how they make you believe in their lies. Don't be so gullible. And you are mastering in chemical engineering. It should be easier for you to see how they turn your entire existence into chemistry. They know what you are reactive towards. And that particular chemical reagent is selectively brought to you so that you can react as per their convenience, their interests, and become a slave. Because they don't have any individuality, any freedom of their own. So they despise those who are free or who are even relatively freer. Are you getting it? You cannot live without such and such thing. Don't you see weakness is being introduced into yourself? This is weakness. And you are made to learn this. I am saying unlearn. You are successful only if you have these particular things in your life. Nobody will say this is a statement of weakness, but it is. And you are made to buy into all this. And you do. Because you don't examine what is entering you. Especially if those who are bringing these things to you happen to be your so-called well-wishers, friends, family, or knowledgeable people. Then you think if something is coming from them, it surely is for your good. Not necessarily. More often than not, things that come to you from all these easy and all pervasive sources around you are toxic. Goodness in a human being is not something very readily found, sadly. It's a rarity. Therefore, if you want to use someone for the purpose of learning, then you have to be very careful. You cannot just randomly listen to anybody and think that his words or influence would be a source of strength to you. That fellow will say something, and whatever he says may not even include the words strength and weakness. And yet you will find that if the fellow is not coming from a point of inner realization, His influence upon you is toxic and debilitating. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Let's take the example, basic example, because again, chemistry. Let's take the basic example of sugar. Let's say you are a diabetic, right? First of all, how did you turn diabetic?
Consuming more amount of sugars and not appropriate diet.
No. Diabetes is not about consuming more amount of sugar. Diabetes is about your pancreas losing the ability to secrete insulin. Now, insulin is supposed to be something within you, right?
Yes, sir.
You do not say, sir, please tell me how do I secrete or learn insulin. You don't have to learn it. It is already there within you. You don't have to learn it. It's there. But then you take in a lot of random stuff from outside, and whatsoever you have taken has been harming your inner system, your pancreatic system, since long. And then your system gets so badly hurt that slowly the secretion of insulin stops altogether. Right? Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Does that not happen? Now, have you lacked in something, or have you had an excess of something? Have you lacked in insulin, or have you had an excess of toxicity?
Excess of toxicity.
Nobody lacks in strength. We have had an excess of debilitating influences. You understand debilitation? Weakening of something, turning something weak. Nobody lacks strength. It's just that we consume so much of weakness from outside that the inner strength is covered, obfuscated, and therefore lost to us. Right? Now that your pancreas have become dysfunctional, what do? You look at the world outside and you can still continue to consume something random. What will that do to your body? Deteriorate it even further. You can lay your hands on something random that is available as edible stuff, and there's a 99% probability it will only worsen your condition, right? But there does exist something outside of you that will improve your condition. What's that called? That's called medicine. Or that could be a dose of external insulin. But what is the probability that just randomly you will consume external insulin? Not even 1%, right? You consume anything that is either sugar or it will turn into sugar in your body. You say, I don't like sugary stuff. What do you like? I like things rather salty. So you go and have a pizza. The pizza turns into sugar within the body. You think the pizza is not sugary? It is. Goes in and turns into sugar. You take anything, you are de facto taking in sugar. What is the probability that you will take an insulin? Very little. But is insulin not available at all in the universe? It is, but it's rare. You'll have to be extremely selective, extremely choosy. And that's what I said about the learned man. He is available, but is rare. Others are either directly toxic, like sugar, or indirectly toxic, like pizza. So the first thing is that you should not let it come to the stage where your inner strength is lost to you. But if, unfortunately, you have come to that point, then you have to look at the world very selectively, which means you have to do two things. One, you have to stop unlimited access to those who have been entering you so far. They are the ones who get in and become your weakness. And secondly, because it may not suffice to just stop the intake of sugar. Anybody who is diabetic or knows somebody diabetic, till some point it is sufficient that you cut down on your sugar. Beyond that, it does not suffice. After that, you have to take in insulin or some other medicine. So the first thing obviously is neti, which is that you must stop the toxicity from entering you. But that may not suffice. And then you have to, with dedication, search for sources that get inside you and cut down the pre-existing, pre-accumulated sugar. Sugar, which is, in our example, sugar stands for weakness. So one, stop the intake of what has been going in actively. Secondly, if that does not suffice, then with great care and great discretion, look for something that is external but will go inside to remove the external. That would have given you a distinction between external and external stuff. There is an external stuff that goes in and retains its external identity. That's a toxin. And there is external stuff that goes in and removes all that which has already accumulated as external. Why do we want to remove the external stuff? Because the internal is strength. The external is weakness. It does not occur to us that way. We are not weak. We have been made to feel weak. Every bit of weakness that you feel or identify with is not yours at all. Those who have known, in a poetic way, they have exclaimed, "You are strength as a person. You are power personified." That's not me. That's coming from people who invested themselves all their life into investigation of existence. And they started with a disgust for weakness. They said, what is this weakness that we find so pervasive all around us? We don't like it. And to their delight, when they went very deeply into weakness, they discovered strength. They said, peel the layers of weakness off. And at the core, we are all strong beyond our imagination. Your fears are all imaginary. Your limits are self-made. All that you find small or brittle or limited or fragile about you is just a concept, not reality. Can you find out where did you learn it from? That will do two things to you. One, you will know it is not innate. Innate means internal, original. It is not original from within you. It came from somewhere. Once you go into your weakness, you discover it came from somewhere. So first thing it tells you is, it's not mine, not innate. Second thing, you learn from where it came. So you can block the way now. The moment you learn where that weakness came into you from, you can block the route. It will no more enter you from there. Yes, the dose that you have already taken in will and does take some time to be cleared away. But at least the accumulation, the aggravation will stop. Are you getting it? Don't look for strength. Strength is not something so small that our little hands will look for it and clutch it and intake it. You cannot take strength in, but you can throw weakness out. Throw weakness out. Strength is not needed. You already have ample of it.
Yes, sir.
You already are strong. And the proof of that is when you listen to this, there is something in you that says, I don't feel like believing this, because the moment you accept this, you bring a lot of responsibility upon yourself, no? The moment you accept that you are actually very strong, you find a lot of responsibility coming your way, no? Who gives responsibilities to a weakling? If you are strong, what do you find coming your way? Loads and loads of responsibility. So you don't want to accept that you are strong, but still something that is beautiful, original, and already strong within you silently murmurs, yes, this is not wrong. This cannot be wrong. I am strong. I am strong. Discard people or situations or sources who, as tricksters, inject weakness into you. Often weakness is injected into you in the name of care or love. Don't let that happen. I'll not let you go out. It's already 8 p.m., dead of the night. The roads are infested with wolves and jackals. I'll not let you go out. I love you so much. Kick this person the hardest way at his softest place. He's not a well-wisher, I tell you. Not a well-wisher. He's loading you with a sense of weakness. Care is an entirely different thing. Care looks at facts. Precaution is one thing. Fear is a totally different thing. Precaution is based on facts. And fear is based on nothing. Fear is based just on an imaginary sense of an afraid self. To wear slippers while walking on a road might be precautionary. But to wear gumboots, there's a problem somewhere. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
You are not worth loving if you don't get a fat enough package. You're in your 4th year, right?
Yes, sir.
Learn to raise not your voice, but your legs, so that you can kick people hard. That must be the environment in the campus these days, no? Your worth is measured on the size of your package. Or the university you get a call from. All this is fear. We don't use the word fear for all these things, but this is fear, and fear is weakness. You have a friend, and he starts overflowing with joy. The moment he finds that you got a package of whatsoever is a package considered fat enough, and he goes bonkers, you'll say, this is what a great friend is like. See how he is celebrating my success. I got a great job, and great means lots of money. I got a great job. and see how celebratory he is. This man is injecting weakness in you. What he's telling is that I'm celebrating you because you have a job. And a job is an external thing. Tomorrow you might not have that job. And then you will feel small and weak. Anybody who celebrates you or loves you conditionally is actually celebrating and loving the conditions, not you. And conditions, as we know, are all fickle. Bubbles they are. Disappear in no time. And then you will be very, very anxious about protecting those bubbles, and that's weakness. Think of a person whose self-worth is contained in a bubble. How anxiously he would be living. Think of something as weak as a bubble. If your self-worth is tied to a bubble, can you ever feel strong? But if there is someone who is envious of your fat package, you will immediately declare, an enemy there. Enemy spotted there. The enemy is not only the one who detests your success. Your enemy is also the one who celebrates your success. Because he is celebrating your success, not you. His success is conditional. Now this would sound counterintuitive. Let this sink in, take time. The fellow is saying, you were not worth celebrating had you not had this job. Somebody who is celebrating your beauty, your physicality, or whatever, he would not celebrate you if you lose your beauty or your manliness or whatever. The result, you will be turned anxious about preserving something that by definition cannot be preserved for long. Who can be beautiful for long? By beautiful I mean attractive in a physical way, in the sense we are using here. But the fellow comes and says, so beautiful, and you feel delighted. No, it's not a thing of delight. It's a thing of concern. Tomorrow I'll not be equally beautiful by way of my face, by way of the body. And then those same eyes will not look at me or turn elsewhere. And then I'll be depressed. This is weakness. Weakness is always a foreign element, an import. Something that comes to you via others. And it rarely comes to you as weakness itself. It comes to you as something worth celebrating. Be very cautious of your celebrations. Be very careful about your happinesses. What you celebrate as happiness is what you will later repent as misfortune. It is in your moments of happiness that you throw the door open to all kinds of pathogens. Does that not happen? When there is a function in the house, the main door remains open. Now anybody can enter. You don't even want to keep a watch. And also in moments of deep grief, the main door is kept open. Some really sad thing has happened in the house, the door remains open so that people can come in and express condolences. It is in these moments of emotional vulnerability that the risk is amplified. Some nonsense will enter you. In some name. Obviously, nonsense never declares itself to be nonsense. It will take some sweet name to gain access. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Dependency, attachment, are they not weakness? See what keeps a person from doing the right thing in life, and you will find these things. He has dependents, or he is a dependent. Either he has dependents, or he himself is dependent, or he is attached to something. There is so much of open evil all around us, is there not? And yet you find so few people showing up to take a stand. Why? Because they are afraid. Why? Because they either have dependents or they are dependent, or because they are attached. If I show up, some harm may come to those I am attached to. Or if I display courage and resist the evil, then my wealth and privileges might be compromised. Privilege never declared itself to be a weakness, did it? Comforts never entered your life openly admitting that we will become your weakness, did they? But see, in the moments when you will need to summon strength, you will find all these things: comforts, attachments, dependencies, they have blocked your way. You will be standing aghast. I thought I was strong, but this moment when the strength needs to roar aloud, it's been muffled. The roar has been suffocated by the things that I made so dear to myself. If a person is teaching new patterns to you, the person is not worth listening to. Whereas if the person is breaking your patterns, then the person is worth listening to. Two people come to you, both admonish you. One says you need to be admonished because you do not speak in a particular way, because you do not dress up in a particular way, because you don't know how to use the cutlery properly. The other one scolds you and says, in the way you dress up and in the way you speak, I smell fear. The first one must not be listened to. What he's saying is, if you learn a particular way of dressing and eating, then I will respect you. No, the way of dressing and eating that he is trying to teach you is just another pattern, right? You might be coming from a rural area and you have never used a knife or a fork or probably even a spoon. Happens. There's nothing insulting about it. We have been using our hands to eat, and I don't think there is anything particularly disgusting about it. What's so wrong with our hands? And someone comes and says, even rice you have to take with a fork. Problem. There is a problem. Your psyche has just been loaded with a complex. Its simplicity has been taken away. Even while eating, now you will have to be unduly careful of something very valueless. Do not listen. This person is not teaching you. He is just loading you with a particular concept of his choice. Mankind has not always eaten in one particular great, final, and appropriate way. Different cultures, different times, different ways of eating. You sit on the floor and eat. There are places where you stand and eat. Even tables and chairs have varied. Someone says, no. Unless you do all these things, your life is not worth living. Do not listen to this person. And there is another one who is coming to scold you and he says, it's all right the accent that you carry. The problem is not your accent. The problem is the fear in your words. This person can be listened to. One person scolds you on your accent. The other one says, the accent is all right. We are all entitled to our particular nativity. But what I hear is your fear. And that fear is something I don't like in you. Even your accent probably comes from your fear. And that's why I don't like your accent. Now in this situation, both the fellow who have come to scold you or teach you or whatever are finding fault with your accent. But the reasons are very different. This one is saying, you have a thick Indian accent. You must anglicize it. I like the Irish one. Now, this is one thing to say. The other one says, you are wearing this accent only because you are afraid, and therefore I don't like your accent. Now, this is a totally different approach, is it not? The first approach will instill fear in you. The second approach makes you fearless. The second approach says, I understand that one has to be careful with accent to the point that you are legible to the other. If I speak in an accent that you cannot even comprehend, then there is a problem with communication. So to that extent, I'll take care of my accent. But beyond that, it's my content that matters, not my accent. Now, this is another approach altogether. You have to be very careful of what you are lending your ears to. See whether that thing is more of fear or freedom from fear. More often than not, it will be more of fear. Fear seeps in a moment-to-moment way. Every particular interaction. And over time, it becomes internal. Rest assured, it can never become fully internal. Fully internal is strength itself. What is the way to awaken your strength? You cannot awaken your strength. Just challenge your fears. Ask them to show up. Say, let me just check how real you are. Come, let's play. Challenging your fears is the only way to awaken your strength. Our build is such that we need a bit of competition. All right. Run from here till the end of the road. Let's say that's some 300 meters. Just run. No, don't start running. And we'll keep the time. You took some time. Right? 300 meters. You ran. Let's say you took some 60 seconds, 1 minute. That's most likely the time you will take. More than that, maybe 80 seconds, 100 seconds. Next we say, fine. Take this timer, wear it and run. For sure the time will reduce. If you took 80 seconds, now you will take 65 or 70. And then I say, here, you have a competitor. The two of you will run. Let's see who wins. Now the time will reduce by another 5 seconds. That's the way to awaken your potential. Have a challenger. Run without keeping time, you will take a certain time. Run with a timer, the time will reduce. Run with a challenger, the time will be reduced even further. Provided the challenger is capable enough. If you run with a kid, the example won't hold good. Challenge your fears. Even if your challenger beats you, you will find your time has improved. It's all right to be beaten by your fears, than to never challenge them at all. Even if you get beaten by your fears, your timing will improve. That's what is called as daring, no? Daring. Come on. And when you do this kind of a heroic thing, then something will tremble within. Let it tremble. It's like inviting an established boxer. You know what's going to happen next. Still invite him. Come. Let's see. You will most probably get beaten, but you will improve. Remember, fears are external, strength is internal. The internal will always be more powerful than the external because the internal is internal. Fears didn't accumulate in a day, so you can't clean them up in a day. Start today. See what you are afraid of. Go and discover its source. The moment you will see or get a glimpse of the source those fears came to you from, you'll feel like challenging them. Because some kind of repugnance will arise. You'll say, external thing, how did it colonize me? It's an external thing. You'll feel like challenging it. And when you challenge your fears, we said you awaken your strength. Observation, seeing, paying attention to the small things of life. How a shopkeeper induces greed in you. See that. How everything is a big shop. See how all the great events exist for the sake of advertisements. See. Where does a newspaper, for example, make its money from? Not from the rupees 5 or 10 that you spend on a copy of it. Think of the amount of paper the newspaper brings to you. Rupees 5 is not sufficient even to cover the paper. So how is the newspaper so inexpensive? Because they are making the bulk of their money from. And if the ad is what the newspaper exists for, then what do the news exist for? If the newspaper is not to bring you news but ads, please understand, somebody is publishing the newspaper. He is making his money from ads. So the newspaper is actually to bring you ads, not news. So the ads are important, the news are not. Hence the news will be selected in a way that facilitates the ads. Now ads are about consuming something. All ads are about that, right? So the news will be put in a way, chosen in a way and presented in a way that turns you into more of a consumer. For example, if there is a big advertisement of a security company, half a page, then the upper half of the page must preferably have news that make you feel insecure. So the top half makes you feel insecure, that's news. The bottom half has an ad of a security company. That goes well, right? Yep. That's how weakness is introduced into you. And you must see that very carefully. When you read a newspaper, don't just read the newspaper. Look at the whole thing. How is it laid out? What's happening? Where it's making money from? That's why education is so important. That's why knowing a bit of economics is so important. If everybody is operating for the sake of profits, you must know the money trail. You must know where the whole thing is going from. The money comes from here, then goes to that person. That person has this much of a cut in it. Okay, that's the way the whole system is operating. And then you will not allow them to colonize you. Where is the, for example, news channel making its money from? Where's the news channel making money from? Again, ads. What percentage of the ads are government spends? A large percentage. For some channels, more than 50%. So if the newspaper is if the news channel is actually making its money from the government, what will it do? What will be the content of the news? And if the government ensures its own sustenance by making you feel insecure, what will be the content of the TV news? That make you feel insecure. Oh, some imaginary enemy is closing in upon you. You are besieged. Somebody has to be an enemy. Somebody has to be an enemy. That will be the content of the news. Pure economics, nothing else. They ensure their sustenance by making you feel weak. But you don't see that. Instead, you say, how do I feel strong? But you are strong. Their own dirty self-interests are making you unnecessarily feel weak. You are not weak. You can extend the list of examples. I'll stop here because I can continue with the list unendingly. Let's move to the next question now.
So much, Acharya Ji.